So recently I covered in a video about the AWS Trainium chip, challenging the Nvidia's chips. And now there's news that Google is now working on its own CUDA-like software. According to the report, the rioters this week, Google and Meta have quietly teamed up on a project called Torch GPU. And here's what you mean for your tech stack and why it's a big deal. So look at the history. Google has had TPUs, which is called tensor processing units, for years. On papers, the price to performance ratio on Google TPU was often beat Nvidia. So why are we not using them? Because the developer experience was painful. To get maximum performance on a TPU, you basically had to leave the PyTorch ecosystem to learn JAX, or you had to struggle with the XLE compilers that would often crash if you used a specific PyTorch operator that was not supported. So most developers look at this and say, no, I don't need this headache, I'm good with Nvidia. The new partnership changes the calculation. Okay, the Meta, who literally created the PyTorch, is now working directly with the Google engineers to optimize PyTorch to run natively on TPUs. And this is not just a wrapper. The goal of Torch TPU is to make TPU a first-class citizen in PyTorch. The promise is simple. You take your model.py, you switch the device target, and it runs. No rewriting code into JAX and no hunting down obscure compiler errors. Now, why is Meta helping Google ride their competitors? So the thing is, Meta is spending billions on Nvidia hardware, and by making their software run perfectly on Google's hardware, they stop being dependent on a single supplier, and it gives them leverage to negotiate prices with Nvidia. Second thing is, Meta wants the Llama ecosystem to be everywhere, and if Llama inferences is cheaper on Google Cloud because of the optimization, adoption of their model will be going up. Now, before we get too excited, the reality check is that CUDA mode is not just about the basic metric multiplication. Nvidia's advantage is in the thousands of custom kernels, the optimized flash attention implementation, and the niche libraries that just work out of the box. So for Torch GPU to succeed, it just not just need to run the basics, it needs to support the bleeding edge research of code without crashing. And if a dev tries to run a new architecture and hits a kernel not supported error, they're going to switch back to Nvidia immediately. But if they pull this off, we might actually see a real competitor to the CUDA monopoly. And if I want to know your take, okay, just go in comment section, just discuss things, okay? I just want to know what you guys think about it. If you're a founder of some SaaS tool or dev tool company, I also create content for you guys, so if you want to work with me, link is in the description.